Ever wondered if animals like to party as much as humans do? Well, you're about to find out. Welcome to this wild ride into the animal kingdom where we'll uncover some surprising behaviors. You see, some creatures have been spotted seeking out substances that appear to give them quite the buzz. From the forest to the oceans, these critters are finding ways to let loose and have a little fun, just like us. So buckle up, folks. We're about to dive into the top 10 party animals, literally. Starting at number 10, we have the wallabies of Tasmania. Now these fuzzy critters have a peculiar penchant for poppy plants. That's right, folks. The wallabies have been found getting high on poppy seeds. These poppy plants, grown for medicinal purposes, are a part of Tasmania's major agricultural industry. The wallabies, with their curious nature and voracious appetites, often sneak into these poppy fields. As they munch on poppy seeds, they end up getting a bit, well, loopy. This indulgence leads to some rather amusing behavior. They've been observed hopping around in seemingly random patterns, appearing disoriented, and sometimes even lying down in the middle of the field, basking in their poppy-induced euphoria. The Tasmanian farmers have even reported crop circles in their fields caused by these high-hopping marsupials. It's a peculiar sight indeed. So next time you see a wallaby bouncing around, it might just be on a poppy seed high. At number 9, we have pigeons and crows. You may not think of these common birds as party-goers, but it turns out they have a knack for finding fermented fruits. Picture this, a crow or a pigeon swooping down to a tree, not for a worm or seed, but for a juicy, overripe and fermented fruit. The fruit's sugars have turned to alcohol, and after a few pecks, our feathered friends start to exhibit some rather fly behavior. They'll stagger on branches, lose their usually precise flying coordination, and sometimes even tumble from trees. It's a sight that's both hilarious and a bit concerning. But don't worry, these birds know their limits. It's a strange phenomenon in the world of ornithology, but it's a testament to the diverse ways animals interact with their environments. Who knew birds could be such party animals, right? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned to find out which other animals love to get high. Coming in at number 8, it's the bighorn sheep. These hardy creatures are no strangers to the high life, but we're not talking about their mountainous habitats. No, the bighorn sheep have a particular fondness for a certain narcotic lichen. Now this isn't your everyday salad bar selection. This psychedelic lichen is hard to find and typically grows in the most treacherous and remote corners of the rugged mountain ranges the bighorn sheep call home. But oh, how they love it. They'll navigate perilous cliffs, endure harsh weather conditions, and even engage in head-butting battles with rivals, all for a taste of this hallucinogenic delicacy. The lengths they go to for their buzz is truly impressive, showing us that in the animal kingdom the pursuit of pleasure can sometimes outweigh the risks. These sheep sure know how to have a body time. Swimming into number 7, it's dolphins. Now, these intelligent marine creatures have a reputation for being playful and curious, but did you know they also have a knack for getting a bit of a thrill? Dolphins have been observed toying with pufferfish, those spiky, unpredictable ocean dwellers. But this isn't your typical game of catch. Pufferfish release a toxin when they're threatened, and in small doses it appears to have a narcotic effect on dolphins. It's as if the dolphins have figured out how to use the pufferfish's defense mechanism to their own advantage. They pass the pufferfish around, gently nudging it with their noses to provoke a release of toxins. After their encounter with the pufferfish, dolphins have been seen behaving unusually, hovering near the surface in a trance-like state. So it seems that dolphins have their own version of a puff-puff pass. But instead of a joint, they're passing around a pufferfish. Talk about a puff-puff pass in the ocean. Buzzing into number 6, we have the bees. Now, bees are known for their industrious nature, tirelessly buzzing from flower to flower. But did you know they also have a taste for the tipsy side of life? That's right. Bees can get drunk on fermented nectar. It's a bee's version of happy hour, and it can lead to some hilarious antics. Imagine a bee having had one too many sips of fermented nectar trying to navigate its way back to the hive. It's a bit like watching a novice ice skater, all wobbly and unsure. Some bees can even get so intoxicated that they pass out. And yes, hangovers are a thing in the bee world too. The hive's guard bees often have to deal with these drunken intruders, sometimes even barring them from entering until they sober up. So, next time you see a bee zigzagging, it might just be the nectar talking. Prowling into the number 5 spot, it's jaguars. These majestic creatures, known for their incredible agility and strength, have a rather peculiar habit that might surprise you. In the lush jungles they call home, jaguars have been observed chewing on a certain vine that has hallucinogenic properties. This vine, known as Banisteriopsis caapi, contains a powerful psychedelic compound that sends these big cats on a mind-bending trip. By gnawing on the vine and swallowing its juices, the jaguars are thought to enter a heightened state of awareness. This could potentially aid them in hunting, enhancing their senses and making them even more in tune with the pulse of the jungle. But it's not all about survival. Some believe that these jungle cats might just be enjoying the psychedelic effects of the vine, a truly wild party in the heart of the rainforest. Who knew the jungle held such psychedelic secrets, huh? Galloping into number 4 we have reindeers. Now hold on to your antlers for this one, folks. In the frosty wilds of the Arctic, reindeers have developed a rather unusual dietary preference: hallucinogenic mushrooms. That's right, these antlered adventurers are known to chow down on the fly agaric mushroom, a red and white speckled fungi that can cause intense hallucinations. Why do they do it? Well, it could be that the psychoactive compounds in the mushrooms help the reindeers to withstand the harsh Arctic conditions, or perhaps it gives them a heightened sense of perception, helping them evade predators. It's a real-life magic mushroom trip, minus the wizard and the talking caterpillar. But don't worry, these reindeers aren't tripping through the tundra all the time. They only consume these mushrooms occasionally, and the effects are relatively short-lived. Still, it's a wild example of how nature can be stranger than any fiction. Maybe that's why they can fly on Christmas Eve. Swinging into number 3, it's the capuchin monkeys. These clever primates have found a rather peculiar way to get their kicks. Instead of reaching for the fruit, they reach for the millipedes. Yes, you heard it right, millipedes. Now you might be wondering, how does a millipede get a monkey high? Well, when these monkeys rub these creepy crawlies all over their fur, the millipedes release a natural defensive chemical. This chemical not only helps keep pesky parasites at bay, but also gives the capuchin a mild, intoxicating effect. Imagine taking a spa day and getting a bit tipsy at the same time. That's what these monkeys are experiencing. It's a 2-for-1 deal in the jungle spa of the capuchin monkeys. They've turned a simple insect into their very own natural pharmacy and bar. Just like us humans, these monkeys seem to enjoy a little lightheadedness once in a while. From bugs to buzz, these monkeys know how to have a good time. Jumping into number 2, it's lemurs. Yes, you heard that right. These fuzzy, wide-eyed creatures from Madagascar have discovered their own form of natural recreation and protection: millipedes. But how do these two seemingly unrelated species connect? Well, it's a fascinating tale of nature's pharmacy. Lemurs, you see, have developed a unique relationship with millipedes. They gently gnaw on these many-legged creatures, causing the millipedes to release their defensive secretions. These secretions are rich in chemicals that act both as an insect repellent and a mild toxin. For the lemurs, it's a win-win situation. Not only do they get a break from the pesky insects that plague them, but the toxins also induce a state of intoxication, giving the lemurs a lightheaded, euphoric feeling. It's a classic case of work hard, play hard in the animal kingdom. And there you have it, one of nature's quirkiest party animals. These lemurs sure know how to party in the wild. And finally, stomping into number 1, we have elephants. Now, this might come as a surprise, but elephants are known to have a bit of a penchant for the sauce. Yes, you heard it right. These massive mammals have been observed seeking out and consuming fermented fruits that make them a little tipsy. It's quite a sight, really. Picture this: a multi-ton creature, wobbling around, trunk swaying in the air, just because they've had a few too many marula fruits. Researchers have noted that elephants can act somewhat unpredictably when under the influence, much like some humans we might know. They have been spotted behaving in a more playful manner, or even showing signs of aggressiveness. But remember, this is not an invitation to start a safari pub crawl. While it might be amusing to imagine, it's important to remember that these are still wild animals. So, there you have it, folks, the top 10 animals that love to get high. Remember, don't try this at home or in the wild.